Hello, welcome to our channel. Today, you will be enchanted and inspired by the incredible story of Saint Dominic Savio, the patron saint of children and adolescents. Get ready for a journey of faith, courage, and devotion that marked the life of this young saint, who left an eternal legacy at just 14 years old. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our inspiring stories and special content. Now, let's discover the extraordinary life of Saint Dominic Savio together. Saint Dominic Savio is revered as the patron of children, adolescents, students, acolytes, and women in labor. At 14, he was called to eternal glory, and despite his short life, he lived with admirable intensity. Instead of following the easy path of the world, he chose the narrow road that leads to holiness. His life is narrated in the biography written by his mentor, Saint John Bosco, as well as in documents written by Dominic himself and in testimonies from his colleagues and others who knew him. Dominic was born on April 2, 1842, in Riva, a small village near Turin, Italy. His father was a blacksmith and his mother a seamstress. From a very young age, he had the habit of never going to sleep without first saying an Our Father, a Hail Mary, and a prayer to his guardian angel. By the age of 4, he knew the Creed, the Hail Holy Queen, and the Angelus by heart, and would often retreat to a corner of the house to pray alone. He was humble, kind, and obedient to his parents, and respectful of his elders. When his father went to work, little Dominic would ask God to ensure everything went well. On one occasion, his parents hosted a stranger who started eating without thanking God for the food. Dominic was so impacted that he got up from the table, saddened, and couldn't eat. His love for the Eucharist was also notable. At 5 years old, he was the first to arrive at church for Mass, and when he found it closed, he would kneel in front of the door to pray, even if the ground was muddy. Being so small that he couldn't reach the altar, he helped organize the missal during Mass. Upon entering school, Dominic patiently endured the offenses of classmates who took advantage of his kindness to blame him for things he hadn't done. When the teacher asked why he didn't defend himself, he replied that Christ also remained silent when offended. At 7 years old, he made his first communion, a moment he remembered as the most beautiful of his life. He prepared intensely by praying and reading devotional books. On the eve of that day, he asked his mother for forgiveness for any distress he might have caused and promised to behave better from then on. Dominic wrote on a small strip of paper the resolutions he made on the day of his first communion: to confess frequently and receive communion whenever permitted, to sanctify Sundays and feast days, to have Jesus and Mary as friends, and to prefer death over sinning. These resolutions would guide his life. He confessed every 15 days and then weekly. At 10 years old, he stopped studying at the village school and enrolled in the municipal school of Castelnuovo, traveling 11 kilometers daily to and from school. When a neighbor asked if he wasn't afraid to walk alone, he replied that his guardian angel accompanied him. With his always fragile health, Dominic fell ill due to the long walks in the sun, rain, and snow. His family moved to a location closer to the school, and he was then enrolled in the oratory of St. Francis Delaware Sales, run by Don Bosco in Turin. There, he was admitted as a free student due to the family's poverty. In 1854, Dominic entered the college, and on December 8th, he renewed his resolutions before an altar of the Virgin Mary when the dogma of the Immaculate Conception was proclaimed. Dominic founded the Company of the Immaculate to honor the Virgin Mary. In one episode, upon discovering that 2 classmates were going to fight with stones, he did everything he could to stop the fight, raising a crucifix and asking them to direct their anger towards him. His pleas moved his classmates, who who gave up the fight and reconciled. At school, Dominic was diligent, especially in the study of Latin. He refused to wander the streets or swim in the river with his classmates. Once, he asked Don Bosco to help him become a saint quickly, as he felt he had little time. Don Bosco advised him to maintain a moderate joy, be constant in prayer, win souls for God, fulfill his duties, and avoid bad company. Dominic was fascinated by the life of Saint Stanislaus and began to do something for the Virgin Mary every day, from offering sweets in her name to forgiving offenses. Upon hearing blasphemies, Dominic would repair the offense by praising Christ and offering mortifications to the Lord, such as keeping his eyes downcast to avoid worldly distractions. When a classmate mocked this habit, Dominic replied that he was guarding his eyes to see God in heaven. He also guarded his words, being prudent and avoiding complaints. Dominic knew, through a divine sign, that his mother was in labor and in serious condition. With Don Bosco's permission, he went to his house, where he placed a scapular of the Virgin on his mother, who immediately recovered her health and gave birth without complications. Dominic would gather children to tell them stories of saints and teach them the catechism, rewarding them with holy cards and medals. Dominic often entered a state of ecstasy after receiving communion, becoming absorbed in prayer for hours. His doctors recommended that he return home due to his weakened health. He said goodbye to his classmates and, after receiving his last communion, prayed a prayer of thanksgiving, saying, "Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, assist me in my last agony. Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, may my soul expire in your arms." At 9:30 in the evening on March 9th, 1857, Dominic called his father and said, "Dad, the time has come. Will you read me the prayers for the dying?" The father, bathed in tears, took the book, and after that, Dominic passed away. Saint Dominic Savio left an example of devotion and holiness that continues to inspire to this day. Two notable miracles are often attributed to him. The first miracle occurred in 1933 when a young woman was cured of a terminal illness after invoking the intercession of Dominic Savio. The second miracle occurred in 1950 when a man suffering from paralysis was miraculously cured after praying fervently to the young saint. Today, devotion to Saint Dominic Savio extends worldwide, especially among young people and Catholic educators, who see him as a model of purity and youthful holiness. His main shrine is located in Castelnuovo Don Bosco, Italy, where thousands of pilgrims visit annually to pray and seek inspiration. Dominic Savio was beatified on March 5, 1950, by Pope Pius XII and later canonized by the same Pope on June 12, 1954. During the canonization Mass, Pope Pius XII highlighted Dominic Savio's exemplary life, saying, "Dominic Savio, still so young, understood and lived holiness in his daily life, showing us that purity of heart and faithfulness to God are possible at any age." May we follow his example of faith and dedication to God in our own lives and make holiness, joy, and purity a part of our daily living. Saint Dominic Savio, pray for us. Thank you very much for watching up to here. I hope the story of Saint Dominic Savio has touched and inspired you as much as it has us. We want to know what you thought of the video, so leave your comment below. And if you know any child or adolescent for whom you would like Saint Dominic Savio to intercede, write it in the comments as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and share this video with your friends and family so that more people can know this incredible journey of faith and devotion. We immensely appreciate your company and look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you then.